Welcome back. Out of the park baseball. Um, we are kind of praying for no uh blue screens tonight because you guys know I've been having issues with out of the park blue screening the computer. I've isolated it to the driver that runs the Wi-Fi. I downloaded the newest driver from Intel. It has not fixed some of the issues. I'm getting event warnings now in the event viewer. They're not errors, but they are just warnings. And I haven't gone about installing the manufacturer warrant or driver yet because from MSI because they recommend a clean install, which requires uninstalling Killer Performance Center, uninstalling both drivers, right? After you've already downloaded the drivers you need. Then clean installing Killer Performance Center and clean installing the drivers and then seeing if your internet works. The thing is, if I do that and something goes wrong, this laptop will be without the internet permanently until it's fixed. And I don't feel like taking that risk. So what I've done is I've always had Wi-Fi and the LAN connected at the same time. And I've just plugged in and streamed off the LAN, but the Wi-Fi is technically on. I've turned the Wi-Fi off. So the warnings I get in the event viewer when I do that are not there. So it does not look like the driver that's causing the blue screens is active, or at least it's not whenever the Wi-Fi is turned off. So we are going to we are going to try it at least and see how we do. How is the show? My body is sore. Oh my god, I'm still sore, Skull. I'm really low energy tonight, but I'm gonna try and do this because I think I really want to get back into OOTP. The biggest thing for me is personally I'm out of video recordings. I've uploaded all of the video recordings that I had sitting in the library. Remember, you guys? I was telling you guys before about 3 weeks ago that like I had like 300 gigs of videos sitting in the video folder waiting to go up on YouTube. I've uploaded them and scheduled them now. So the last one comes out on. There's one that comes out tomorrow. There's another that's an action time and playthrough, and then there's another OOTP video that's going to come out on Monday, or not Monday, whatever the 30th is that when Friday. So I don't have anything sitting waiting to be uploaded. So because of that, I'm like I would like to get some content recorded, because if that's the case, I can just record a bunch of content, upload it before I leave, schedule them 3 days apart, which is what I like to do, is usually a video every 2 to 3 days. And then I can have stuff hitting the YouTube while I'm in Italy, which I think would be probably best case scenario. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with at the park as well. I think you should do a vlog in Italy. I am not the vlogging type, nor do I want to do that. I don't even take pictures, mate. So just taking pictures alone is going to be a step outside of my comfort zone. That's for sure. So I feel like, you know, I love the shocking ignorance you gave me, Benny. Swanky, I am so tired. My threshold for that kind of stuff is a lot lower than what it should normally be at. That's all. So bear with me tonight, but yeah, my body's really aching. So I just need to relax and enjoy some baseball. That's all I want to do. And a beer, which I just finished. So I'm only having one beer. Okay, I'll let you off, pal. Sounds good. Suppose sitting in the pub all day watching there, not much the video. That's very nice, Skull. Very well done. Right. One other thing to note about the Out of the Park baseball save is actually we were recording a Chicago Fort Wayne match, right, when we last blue screened. I have decided, that was the 26th of June. I have decided not to replay the match because we blue screened in the bottom of the ninth inning. So I lost the game. Chicago were leading that game by a score of 16 to 8 in that game last time we played. And Fort Wayne was going into the bottom of the ninth inning down by whatever that is. 8 runs. They were down by 8 runs. So it was not looking likely. The PC blue screened, and we've decided not to replay the game. So I had the game sim it. And, of course, Chicago were winning in our watch-along, but Fort Wayne won in the sim. So Fort Wayne is 7-7. It's just an unfortunate timing and whatnot. So I've decided not to replay that game. So for those that are looking for the Chicago-Fort Wayne game, there is no stream, no restream, no recording of that game. That game is lost into the eternity because I didn't feel like starting the game over again after getting to the bottom of the ninth. Right. Let's go over the starting lineups. I'm knackered. To be honest, my brain just isn't tired. We've all been there, yeah. My body's really heavy, and it's the same. Like I'm not tired in the eyes or in the head right now, but it's just I'm very like not with it, and I've been kind of unfortunately short with people today. And it's like I know that that's not my normal way. I'm just really cranky, and I'm like it's probably the exhaustion kicking in because I didn't sleep great last night, and I got woken up by the plow, I woke up at 5:30, couldn't fall back asleep. So, not the way I wanted to. And then I had to shovel for 90 minutes today. So, and there's still more shoveling to do. I have more shoveling to do tomorrow because I got all of the bottom end of the driveway out. I undug 2 of the cars. I've got to finish the very top of the driveway, and I got to do the sidewalk, and I got to dig the final car out. And I'm like, it was so exhausting. And I did it during my lunch break today, so it was like I had to get back on. Otherwise, I'd still be working right now. But anyway, let's get into the lineup, shall we? It's great to have you, and welcome in Latte Anarchist. Welcome in Zegon Hayes. Welcome in Swanky Pants. Welcome in Stewart. Welcome in Skull Crusher. Great to see you all. It's fantastic to have you all in here. And we got a good one for you tonight. It is the 9-10 Rockford Forest Citys. They're coming on strong. They've really picked up the pace. These guys were 4 games below 500. They're now within a game of 500. They're 2 back in the National League of the Chicago White Stockings. They're going up traveling to Cleveland, Ohio to play the 8-5 Cleveland Forest Citys. It's a Forest Citys derby here, if you will. And Cleveland recently themselves slotting into second place in the American League. They're still chasing the Boston Red Stockings, so I think are now have like 10. I think they're like 10-2 now. Boston, they're running away with the American League, but Cleveland have overtaken Philadelphia in the American League, and this is a big one. Rockford needed to stay in the pennant chase in the National League. Cleveland needed to try and stay in the pennant chase in the American League. So here we go. We're going to start with the starting lineup here. I wonder what Cleveland would show me. We'll see. We're going to start with the starting lineup, though, first. And starting with the visiting Rockford Forest Citys. Let me just play some audio in my ear because that was a longer introduction than normal. And these headphones do die if I don't do so. So, the lineup for the Forest Citys. Leading off is third baseman Cap Anson. He's batting .383, 11 RBIs. George Hall, the left fielder, bats second. He's batting .278. He's got 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. Ross Barnes, second baseman, bats third. Batting .333, 13 RBIs. Lip Pike will bat fourth. He's red hot. 6 home runs. That leads all of the majors. 22 RBIs as well. Also leads all of the majors. Doug Allison bats fifth. He is the catcher. He's batting .364, 20 RBIs. Joe Start, first baseman, bats sixth. He's batting .321. He's got 8 RBIs. George Bird will bat seventh, batting .266, 12 RBIs for him. George Wright will bat eighth. The shortstop's batting .244. He's got 8 RBIs. Dick McBride, the pitcher, bats ninth. He's batting .329 with 4 RBIs. For the hometown Cleveland Forest Citys, it's center fielder Dave Egler leading things off, batting .413, which is one of the best averages in all the majors right now. He's got 9 RBIs to his name. Fred Cohn bats second. He's ice cold. He's batting 190 below the Mendoza line. Of course, this is before the Mendoza line was even coined as a phrase. For those of you that are unfamiliar with baseball, the Mendoza line is a 200 average. But Fred Cohn is batting 196 RBIs. Deacon White bats third. The catcher's batting 297 with 7 RBIs. Al Spalding will bat fourth. The pitcher's batting 346 RBIs. Chick Fulmer bats fifth. Shortstop's batting 293. He's got 8 RBIs to his name. William Johnson, the second baseman, will bat sixth. He's got a 218 average, 7 RBIs to his name. Denny Mack bats seventh. First baseman's hitting 271 with 3 RBIs. John Glenn, the right fielder, batting 364. He's got 7 RBIs to his name. Francis Abercrombie, the coldest hitter in all of the majors, batting just 080, and he's got 3 RBIs. I wonder why they don't call it the Euchre line, since it was Bob Euchre's lifetime average of 200. I don't know why it's called the Mendoza line as opposed to the Euchre line. Maybe Mendoza came first. I don't know the history of that. I just know it's known as the Mendoza line. But that's a really good question for a baseball historian, Stuart. That's fair. Right, taking the mound for the Rockford Forest Citys will be Dick McBride. He is batting, he's pitching. He's got a 2.36 ERA in 19 starts. He is 8-9. That comes with 2 no decisions. He's got a 1.18 WHIP as well. He's 1-2 versus Cleveland with just, listen to this, by the way. He's 1-2 versus Cleveland, but only with a 1.8 ERA against them. Al Spalding takes the mound for Cleveland. He is 7-5. That brings up 1 no decision as well. He's got the 3.86 ERA with a 1.54 WHIP. He is 2-1 versus Rockford, but with a 5.75 ERA. It is a 10:05 first pitch from the National Association grounds in Cleveland, Ohio. 850 in attendance. It is 70 degrees. For those of you that use Celsius, that is about 22. And we are almost ready here to get underway with this one. Let me forward that to you. Of course, we've got the national anthem first. I always forget to do this. I keep forgetting to do this. I'd like to do this as well, especially because we get some Canadian teams in the league. Welcome in, Bobby. Guess what? I have no idea what is up. But first, before we begin, the national anthem. Thank you very much. You'd never expected, always appreciated, Bobby. Thank you. Great job, Bobby. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you for the 2-month sub, Bobby. Fantastic. You deserve the sub. You're a good man, and I like talking to about you. Plus, I love your shared passion for Asia. I may have had a few beverages. It's all fine, Bobby. Thank you very much again, dude. It's super appreciated. Because Euchre was a catcher and Mario Mendoza was a shortstop. You can deal with bad hitting catchers because they're often there for what they do for pitchers. That's very true. I've said this to my dad the other day about JT Realmuto because the Phillies were rumored not to want to re-sign him. They were rumored to want to sign another catcher who I believe went to the Dodgers. And talking with you, not about you. It's all good. Either way, I appreciate you, Bobby. Thank you so much, dude. But you know, I've said there's not really been a lot of historically very good hitting catchers. Like, obviously, Yadier Molina was a great hitter. We remember Mike Piazza for the Mets was a great hitter. But, like, most catchers are not phenomenal hitters. You know, they're always like your 7 to 9 spot hitters, right? Like, they're never further up the order. So, yeah, that makes sense because Mendoza being the shortstop, shortstop is usually always 1 to 4 in the lineup at some point, right? So, um, really popularized it in the 80s on SportsCenter. Fair enough. What a time for ESPN and SportsCenter. But 80s, 90s, brilliant. After that, right. It's time to get underway. Festivities are over. And I don't know why Vivaldi audio is not turned off. There we go. Festivities are over. We are ready. By the way, I hope you're all doing well. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how your weekend was. I know I canceled a few streams because of the snow and everything else going on, but let me know how you guys are doing. We're going to get underway here with the first pitch. Al Spalding on the mound. It's Cap Hansen selling into the box. Rockford win four straight. Here they go, looking for 5. Here's the first pitch, and check swing immediately. They go to first base. The umpire there says he didn't go. It's below his knees. It's called a ball. 1-0. Bench, Fisk, and Munson were all good hitting catchers. Yeah. It's just rare, you know. Like, I remember Carlos Ruiz for the Phillies. Great situational hitter, right? What a clutch hitter. But his lifetime average isn't above, like, 230, I think. But great catcher, though. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be taken on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That is lined right at the third baseman. And he's got it for the first out of the ball game. Thank you for the lurk, 10th Shadow. I appreciate you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Yes, I have changed the lurk message. Sweet. Oh. Speaking of which, I have edited 3 commands specifically for out of the baseball. Exclamation point E for any time somebody on the field makes an error. Exclamation point K for any time a batter strikes out swinging. And exclamation point strikeout for any time a batter strikes out looking. So they should be at the far end of my stream title tonight, but yes. That's going to bring up left fielder George Hall. Feel free to test him in this first inning if you wish. First pitch to from Al Spalding, and that's below the knees for a ball, 1-0. How much snow did you get, Stuart? Here's the 1-0. That's taken right at the knees for a called strike. It's 1-1. We got a foot. We got about a foot and an inch and a half of ice. So it was insane. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. That's 1-2. I'm just chilling at the moment. All good. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt. 2-2. Played a co-op game earlier. Oh, what game did you play? Was it Peak? Peak was so much fun. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that's grounded right in front of home plate. The throw over to first is safe at first. He beat the throw. He's beaten the throw, and George Hall's got an infield single. I want to run some co-op when I get back from Italy. Bell right? Nice. I don't think I've heard of that game. That brings up Ross Barnes, second baseman. Barnes is the Count Von Count there is a homage to Sean Curtis, by the way. What a great streamer. So Here's the first pitch. We should play a game sometimes. I don't think I have that game, but we should. I want to do Halo when I come back from Italy. Here's the first pitch, and that's going to get away. That's a passed ball. Going to second is George Hall. He got away from catcher Deacon White. There you go. And then that's just informational about the save. So, not that game. A game. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. If you own Peak, or you own Halo Master Chief Collection, or even Football Manager, I want to get a mental health save going with Football Manager. I think it'd be fantastic to do so. I talked about this before on stream, I think, right? I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I talked about it recently. Here's the 1-0. Halo, is that co-op? The Master Chief Collection is. That's fouled off. It'll be 1-1. So the Master Chief Collection, you can do the story co-op with up to 3 other people, which I think is really cool. Why 1871? Because it's the very first year of professional baseball in the world. And I think it's really cool that the game goes back that far. So I got Peak, could get Halo, and I think about FM. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to make you buy anything. You know, Peak, I play Peak a lot. So, you know, I say a lot. I play it intermittently, but I'm always down for a game of Peak pretty much. Here's the 1-1. And that is popped up into right. That's going to land foul. We'll do it again. 1-2 now. Yeah. This game, Latte, you know Mad Scientist, so you know all the, you know how he does the retro databases. All of that stuff for Out of the Park is literally baked into the base game. So you could choose to start your career mode in any season, going all the way back to 1871. It's cool. It is cool, yeah. How do I sort out Discord to send alert out Discord servers when I'm live, or does that not exist? It does. It exists. I use, I think, Carlbot for that. The only thing about Carlbot, no, I use Me6. Sorry, I use Me6 for that. The only thing about Me6 is I have not done anything. Like, I set that up in 2019, and then I've made when did I last make the change? Jesus Christ. 2021 maybe? Oh my God. Oh, yeah. 2021. September 2021 was when I last made the change. So I haven't actually logged in. No, it's not. No, it's Me6 bot in Discord. You add Me6 to your Discord, and you link your Me6 account to your Twitch account, and then every time your Twitch account goes live, Me6 will post it in your Discord. But I haven't. I'd have to remember how to do that, because I have not. I have had that I've had that doing it since 2021 without a change. Me6. Google it. It's a Discord bot. Right, here's the 1-2. It should take you to the webpage if you do Google it. That is going to be ripped into center. And that's a base hit. And Hall is going to be held up at third base. And so Ross Barnes gets on first. And it is runners on the corners with 1 out. By the way, we've been talking so much, we're going to have to run the full 3 minutes of ads during the break. But that's fine. That's not an issue during the half inning. That brings up the best hitter in the majors right now, Lip Pike. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Here's the first pitch to Pike. He's taking that right down the chute for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. And that's lined right at the second baseman, who's got it for the out. 2 away now. Here comes Doug Allison right on his heels. Another good hitter. Having a great season. First pitch to Allison. That's going to get by. The throw home. Safe at home. It's a wild pitch from Al Spalding. George Hall will score. Going to second is Ross Barnes. And Rockford take a 1-0 lead. Here's the 1-0 to Doug Allison. This is lined back up the center. Base hit. Going to third and stopping at third is Ross Barnes. It's a single for Doug Allison. And now it's runners on the corners, 2 away. That'll bring up Joe Start, first baseman. Here's the pitch. That is lined right at the shortstop. He's got it. And the side is retired. 1 run on 3 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the bottom of the first. Rockford have jumped out to a 1-0 lead. No, Me 6. As far as I'm aware, Me 6 is free. I can run you through it when I get back. I can run either of you through it when I get back from Italy. So I don't know how it's gonna work in a shared Discord with like Lou and Raz and you and like that. I don't know. I don't know if Me 6 can link to all those accounts and then just post in a going live chat. You know what? Crack has it set up. So let me ask Crack how he did it, because Crack has something set up in his Discord, in the Now Live section. Oh, it's called. He has StreamCord. That might be better. That actually would be great for that Discord. So let me talk to Crack about how to set up StreamCord, and that would be brilliant for Lou's. For like Lou, Raz, you, like both of you, Lou and Raz. It would be perfect. It would be absolutely perfect. Yo, my man, what's up, KXJ? I don't know baseball. It's all good. We're just about having a good time here, KXJ. You know. So let me look into StreamCord, because that would be fantastic for that Discord. That would work perfectly for that. Right. It's the middle of the inning. We're gonna go take We're gonna take the full 3-minute timeout because the ads are only 16 minutes away, and I'm not going to get through the bottom and the top of the next inning before the ads hit. So we're going to take the full 3-minute break. We'll be back with more in 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Right, welcome back. Bottom first here in Cleveland. Rockford have jumped out to a 1-0 lead. It'll be Dave Engler who settles in here for the Cleveland Forest Citys. Dick McBride on the mound. He's been very unlucky so far in these games. He's got less than a 2 ERA versus Cleveland, but he's only 1-2 in the 3 games he's pitched. Here's the first pitch to him to start this one. That's inside, ball 1. The 1-0. That's grounded to the backstop. It'll be 1-1. I'm really bad at this shout-out thing. I'm really bad at this streaming thing. So let me give a shout-out to our first sponsor because I forgot. First inning, first sponsor. By the way, you said forget Italy. We need help with this. Yeah, I know, right? Feels like that, right? Swanky Pants is a great FM streamer. Also does a little bit of Warzone. Give him a follow if he hasn't already. Likes to stream with a few people, like Skull and whatnot. Really awesome individual. Give him a follow if you haven't already. He's fantastic. The ever so excellent Swanky Pants 10 is our sponsor for the first inning here tonight. Count is 1-1 to Egler. Here's the pitch. That's ripped foul down the third base side. It'll be 1-2. The 1-2. Check swing, but he didn't go. It's inside. 2-2. The 2-2. That is ripped into center base hit. And Egler has got a leadoff single. That brings up Fred Cohn, the left fielder. Runner on first, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Fred Cohn. And that's taken for a called strike throw over to second. Not in time. And Dave Egler has a stolen base. Make him be plush? Oh my God. Since when, Swanky? Since when? Here's the 0-1 to Fred Cohn. That's on the inside part of the plate. And it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Fred Cohn. That is popped up into the seats. We'll go again at 0-2. The 0-2. That's taken outside for a ball. 1-1. 1-2 now. The 1-2. High, ball 2. It's 2-2. The 2-2. That is below the knees. 3-2 now. The 3-2 pitch, that's grounded foul down the third base side. We'll go again at 3-2. Here's the 3-2. That is ripped down the first base line, fair, but stepping on the bag is first baseman Joe Start. And so that'll retire Fred Cohn. Egler did get a good jump, so he does go to third base on the play. And now there's a runner on third with 1 out. That brings up Deacon White, the catcher. Here's the first pitch to White. Grounded over to second. They're going to go over to first for the force. The runner does score. It's an RBI ground out. And this game is tied at 1. How you doing, by the way, KXJ, if you're still there? Appreciate you swinging by, man. That brings up Al Spalding, the pitcher. Nobody on, 2 outs here. Here's the first pitch. That's way inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Grounded foul, it'll be 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's high, ball 2. Here's the 2-1. That's a called strike. It's 2-2. By the way, I took F1 off the schedule for Wednesday. I have a car appointment Wednesday, so I'm more than likely going to be out late, um, or working late. I mean, and like I can't go live right at 6 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock British, because I'm just going to be on too late because of taking the car in. So, I've told Heindo already I'm not going to be able to F1. He said he's got a trial Wednesday as well, so I don't know what I put on the schedule for Wednesday. I put out of the park, but depending on how live I go late, it might not even be that. We'll see. If I can't go live until like 8:30, like it turns out I'm going to be really late, then we'll just do Rise of Nations. But if I can get live around like 7:30, we'll do some out of the park. Right. Here is the 2-2 to Al Spalding. That's going to be below the knees. It's 3-2. Helping me with sorting stuff out. Not until I come back from Italy, in all honesty. I gotta make sure this weekend I have. Right now, Sunday is intended to be my last stream before Italy. I am probably going to have to shovel again Sunday because we're going to get 4 to 7 more inches of snow. But after that stream on Sunday, I have to pack. Like, I have to make sure that I am almost all packed up by Monday, because Tuesday I have to actually drive to my brother's. And then Wednesday, I'm actually getting on the plane. I have to look at what time my first flight is on Wednesday. I don't even look at that. Right, here's the 3-2. That's grounded over to third. The throw on to first. It's a bad throw. It's an E5. We got ourselves our first error of the game. Hope you see me before we go. Thank you for the lurk, Thomas. Appreciate you. Hope to see you before you go on holiday for streaming, Benny. What do you mean by that? The old way. Hold on. I was like thinking about, wait, how is that worded? Are you expecting me to stream from holiday? Because that's not going to happen. I'll be back. Sounds good. By the way, that is definitely there for an error. Right. Here's Chick Fulmer settling in. First pitch to Fulmer. And that's outside, ball 1. Yeah, Benny, stream the Olymp. No, I'm good. Here's the 1-0. That's low and outside, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. There's a throw over to first, and runner is back safely. What's happening here? What's good, Zegon? Here's the throw. Here's the 2-1. That is fouled down the first base side. It's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. That is shot into left center field. That is right at the fielder, the center fielder. He comes over. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave 1 aboard. We go top second here in Cleveland, Ohio, and this game is tied at 1. What's going on, Zegon? How are you? Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys is left fielder George Bird. New ending means new shout out. I can't spell. Give Stewart a follow, mainly because I can't spell. Here he is playing the original Final Fantasy. Oh, God. That music hits. I'm like, oh. See, when I play a game, I want to play this. I don't want to play the remaster. I don't want to play the DS version. This is the version I want to play when I want to pick up the old games. Do you know what I mean? I don't want anything. I don't want a remake. I don't want. Just give me this all day. But yeah, you like retro games? Go give him a follow. He is a retro game commentator of the speedrunning type. Um, there you go. That's impressive. Especially since, well, Kraken I don't usually have trouble with in FF1. It's usually the lava element that I have issues with. That, God, that's an old. I know. I can't remember the name of the lava monster. The one that's in the volcano. I can't remember the name but that's the one I usually have an issue with. But yeah, Carrie. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, commentates Final Fantasy Randomizer, some speed runs for Final Fantasy 6 and the like, and 1 as well. Go give him a follow if you haven't already. You enjoy speed running. The great DM Stewart is our sponsor for the second inning here today. Al Spalding is back ready on the mound. Here's the first pitch coming to George Bird. And Bird's going to rip this into left center. That's going to stay up there for the fielder, though, and he's going to make the catch. And Bird is retired. Right, here is George Wright, the shortstop. First pitch to Wright. And that's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That is ripped into right field. That might stay fair. No, it lands foul. It'll be 0-2. I know when you fight Carrie, I usually have the warrior. If I have a warrior in the party, I usually have the warrior with the ice sword, and that does a good amount. Usually, you really do some pretty good damage with that. But here's the 0-2. That's off the plate away. 1-2. Pat wins. Pat, did you see what I posted in the Discord? I think I tagged you in it, dude. Welcome back, Pat. Yo, Pats, yeah. We love Pats. Part of how I know that's an old clip is because it's from before I moved to the new house. Nice. Pats, how was the very long sleep? Why are you treating Pat like he's old Rip Van Winkle? Right. Here's the 1-2. That is hit very well into right center. Going back, it's off the base of the wall. And this could be a triple. It is a triple. George Wright has got himself a triple. Sliding into third, he's called safe. And Rockford have a runner on third base with just one out. That brings up Dick McBride, the pitcher. Was out for a few days. I was out of computer. Plucy was busy. Lost our grandpa. Oh, my condolences. I'm sorry. Was that the funeral that you drove to? You drove, I think you said 3 hours, but was that the funeral that you had gone to that you were talking about last week? Here's the first pitch, McBride. That's below the knees. It's 1-0. Yeah, I'm very sorry to hear that, Pats. 1-0 is going to be a called strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-1. Yeah, it was a 7-hour drive up north. It was freezing. 50. Listen, listen. 15 Celsius. It's 6 below Celsius today. 6 below. It snowed, Pat. We got a foot of snow yesterday. Literally a foot. 35 centimeters of snow. And about 4 centimeters of ice on top of it is what we got yesterday. So, freezing for, yeah, I know. I was so cold, dude. I was so cold yesterday and today. Here's the 1-1. And that is lined. That's a base hit. And it's going to be a run. Dick McBride has given himself some help. He's got an RBI single. And it's made this 2-1. Yeah, I know also Texas had stuff. Yeah, it's been insane. The storm hit everybody. So. That brings up Cap Anson. He lined out to the third baseman, his first at bat. First pitch. That's a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. That's taken high. Ball 1. The even count pitch. And this is popped up into right field. Right fielder's coming over. It drifts away from him. It'll land foul. He can't get over there enough. I think it's the fact, too, that, like, I shoveled Sunday and then I shoveled today. Like, I'm actually exhausted. I'm just tired. But I'm glad. I hope you're rested, man. Condolences again on the loss of your granddad, man. But I hope after that long trip that you're rested. You're starting to get yourself back a little bit. It's great to see you back on the Twitch and in the Discord, man. Here's the 1-2. And that is going to be a base hit. Anson's aboard. McBride will go to second. And it's first and second now with just 1 out. That brings up George Hall. He singled his last at bat. First pitch, that's inside, ball 1. The 1-0 is lined right at the second baseman. Can he go to second? Did he get him? He got him at second base. They lined into a double play. The runner on second, that's Dick McBride, did not get back in time. So it's an L4-6 DP, a line into the second baseman over to the shortstop who was standing on second for the double play, and the side is retired. 1 run on 3 hits. They leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 2-1 Rockford. Doing first for the Cleveland Forest Citys is second baseman William Johnson. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. All right, welcome back. Bottom second. in Cleveland. William Johnson settling in. First pitch to him here to start this bottom second inning. And he's going to swing and miss. That's a strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded over to short, and that is going to be another error. It's an E4. I forgot to write the E5 down last time. E5 was the third baseman. That's Cap Anson. This is E4. That's the second baseman, Ross Barnes. We've got another fumbly-wumbly. That'll bring up Denny Mack. Runner on, nobody out. Here's the first pitch to Mack. He has bunted that foul. It is 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He takes that outside, 1-1. The 1-1. That's high, ball 2. 2-1 the count now. 2-1 pitch. That's high, ball 3. Hitters count 3-1. Here's the pitch. He's bunted it down to the mound. He's going to go over to first. That's in time. And the sack does its job. It gets Johnson over to second. That brings up right fielder John Glenn. Runner on second, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That's taken off the plate away, 1-0. The 1-0. That's lined right at the first baseman. He's got it. Right. Brings up Francis Abercrombie, the coldest hitter in all of the majors. Runner on second, 2 down. Here's the first pitch to Abercrombie. Off the plate away, it's 1-0. It's the 1-0 pitch. He has popped this up deep into left. And that's going to land foul. We do it again. The 1-1 now. Popped up, this time in the infield. Shortstop's under it. And he's going to make the play, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits. They leave one on base. We go the top third. It's 2-1 Rockford. New ending means new sponsor. Here's Skull Crusher playing FM 26. Oh, it's a trophy lift. There we go. Go give him a follow if you haven't already. Skull's a great FM streamer. He does a little bit of everything. Warzone. He's really been into Fall Guys recently, which is a fun game. But give him a follow if you haven't already. It's the great... Let's go. Skull Crusher, excellent streamer. Go give him a follow if you haven't already. Skull missed me. I think we all missed you, Pat. It's great to hear from you, dude. Me winning trophy. You know what sucks? You know what really sucks, by the way, Skull? Listen. Was it last year? I think it was last year at some point, right? It might have been the year prior. No, the year prior, 2024, right? Where are my little clip? I don't know. It didn't pop one up. Last year, because it only tries to pull from the last 30 days, and if you don't have a clip in the last 30 days, it tries to pull one of your featured clips. And if you don't have any featured clips, then it just doesn't pull anything. It doesn't always pull a clip either, so. No, but 2024, right? This is for Skull. Uh, and them. I kept getting Instagram ads about people who were making replica trophies, like the replica Champions League trophy, or a replica Premier League trophy, or a replica FA Cup. And I was like, and they were charging like $500 to $1,000 for these things. And I was like, you know what? I'm the kind of fool that would ball on something like that. I would totally pay $1,000 to get a little replica, like real life size. It's just a replica Champions League trophy. Like that would be cool. But if you're very you got to be very careful because a lot of those websites they have like no traffic, no reviews, and it's like okay, and then you see people like talking about them on other platforms or elsewhere, and it's like yeah, this is a scam. And I'm like okay. But I would ball on that. If you gave me a trophy like the Champions League trophy, I could lift every title we won in FM. I would lift that thing. You know what I mean? Well, I would like to get 3. I would get the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the Premier League trophy. And then every time we won a cup, I would lift the FA Cup. And every time we won a league, I would lift the Premier League. And every time we won a Champions League, I would lift or continental competition, I would lift the Champions League trophy. That'd be cool. I'm nuts like that. I want that kind of stuff. Right. I just got a me Winnie trophy cheap for a bit of fun. Yeah. I'm kind of. Now you got me thinking I might need to do the same. I don't know. Right. It's Ross Barnes who will settle things or will start things off here in the third inning for Rockford. Here's the first pitch to him. That's low, ball 1. I would love a trophy like that. It's just not getting scammed is the problem. Yeah, exactly. You can buy them at Amazon. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That's probably the most dangerous thing you could have fucking told me, Zegon. Oh, boy. Yeah, but you can buy them from Amazon, but they're probably third-party sellers. And how legitimate are those third-party sellers? Because you can get scammed on there, too. You have to be careful. Right, here's the 1-0. That's taken for a called strike. It's 1-1. I have the World Cup trophy next to you. Oh, my God. I might ask you for a link to the manufacturer or the seller on Amazon. Because I would ball. I would ball. This was in 2024. I was thinking about getting it because I had no debt in 2024. I had no car debt, no credit card debt, no student loan debt, no debt whatsoever. I had nothing on my PayPal. It was brilliant, and I was just like, every dollar I was making, I was keeping. I'm trying to get back to that point first. So I'm gonna try and shed the car next year. Here's the 1-1. The loan on the car, I mean, obviously. That's foul. It's 1-2. I owe $15,400 left on the car. So that's not too bad, considering I bought it for $23,900. Here's the 1-2. I've not had it 2 years either, so. That is into right. That could land. It's going to land foul. Oh, boy. He's got the link. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. See, this is what I'm saying about. There's 7 reviews, and it's only a 3.1. Like, I'm a little bit wary of that. You know what I mean? That tells me you could get scammed. $65 seems pretty cheap for that, too. Oh, it's only a 4-inch. So it's like yay big. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Right. Let me get back to my stream dashboard where I run everything. Uh, oh, that's the wrong tab. That's my schedule. There we go. It's Amazon. Just ask for a refund in case of this. Yeah, like my Wii trophy. Yeah. You're right, but Amazon might be like, well, that's a third-party seller. You don't refund us. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I don't know. They might. Here's the 1-2. That's fouled off. Still 1-2. I'll have to do my research is all. Here's the 1-2. That's taken off the plate away. 2-2 now. The 2-2 pitch is fouled into the seats in left field. The 2-2. 3-2 now as that ball's taken inside. The 3-2 pitch. This is popped up into right. This is going to land foul. The 9th pitch of this at bat is lined into center, but playable. Center fielder's there. He makes the grab, and Barnes is set down. While chatting, like you want ones for the PC, or do you want ones for like your iPhone? It'll bring up Lip Pike. He lined to the second baseman his first at bat. Here's the pitch. Check swing, but it's inside. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's grounded over to second. On to first. That's in time for the second out of the inning. That brings up catcher Doug Allison. He singled in the first inning. First pitch to him. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Just chatting now because the ones I'm using are itching my ears so bad. Well, which ones are you using? Here's the 0-1. That's popped up in the left. And left fielder's there. He makes the play. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go bottom third in Cleveland. Rockford hold a 2-1 lead. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. All right, welcome back. Bottom third. Dave Egler settles in. He had a single his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. He's going to take that for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Rounded over to first. First baseman's right there. He scoops it up, and he'll take it to the bag himself. And Egler is sat down, one away. Here's Fred Cone now. He grounded out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to Cone. That's below the knees. It's 1-0. The 1-0. He's going to take that right down Broad Street for a called strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Check swing, but it's in there for a called strike anyway. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul. It'll be 1-2 still. Here's the 1-2. That's below the knees, 2-2. The 2-2. That's below the knees, 3-2. 3-2 pitch. Popped up. Playable in left. And it's going to land foul. We'll do it again, 3-2. This one's lined right at the shortstop, who's got it for the second out. That brings up. Oh. You ever stab yourself with the little the it's not lead, but you know what I mean, the writing lead or whatever you call it. I just did that with the pencil. Fuck. Right, that'll bring up catcher Deacon White. He had an RBI ground out his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Deacon White. That's taken low, ball 1. The 1-0. That is, the diving stop. Over to first, that's in time. Go Forest Citys playing both sides. Nice, Kadava. Welcome in, man. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top fourth here in Cleveland, and Rockford have a 2-1 lead. How you doing, Kadava? Good, is the afternoon there? Good afternoon to you. New ending means new spots, sir. 10th Shadow is a very infrequent streamer, but when he does stream, it's pretty cool. Big Dead or Alive fan, plays Action Timing in with us as well in our clan. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The great 10th Shadow is our sponsor for our 4th inning here today. 3 in the books. It's a 2-1 Rockford lead. It'll be Joe Start leading things off for Rockford in this inning. He lined out to the shortstop his last at bat. First pitch to him. He's going to take that off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Check swing. They asked first base. First base umpire says he swung, and so it'll be a call. It'll be a strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. That's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. They asked third base. This time he did not go, and it's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. He's chopped that foul. We'll do it again, 2-2. An even count pitch. And he's popped this one up into center. Playable. Center fielder's there. He makes the grab. And Joe Start is retired. That's going to bring up George Bird. He flied out to center in his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to Bird. He's lined this into left. That's drifting foul. It will land foul. How's the F1 save going, by the way, Gadava? Here's the 0-1. That's taken inside. It's 1-1. I think last time I saw you, you were at Belgium. So, over halfway through the season. Here's the 1-1. He's taking that low 2-1. The 2-1. And that's grounded over to short. The throw was on to first. That's in plenty of time. I'm nearly finished 2013, 6 races to go now, so 2 more streams and we can move on to 2014. Nice. How's the team done? Where are you at in the standings? It's going to bring up George Wright. He tripled his last at bat. Here's the first pitch to Wright. And that's taken for a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. That's lined right at the second baseman. He's got it. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and it's still 2-1 for Rockford. Due up first for the Cleveland Forest Citys will be pitcher Al Spalding. We're 10th where we've been most of the season, where we belong. What is there, 12? Is it 12 constructors or 11? I think 11, right, in your save? Right, we're going to take 11, yeah. When I played F1 2022, that's how I felt as Williams. I played F1 Manager 22, and I just was like, I mean, you couldn't create a team there, so it was only the 10 constructors, and I was just 9th the entire season. Like, I got 1 point on the opening race of the season, and I didn't get a single point the entire rest of the season. And that 1 point got me, like, 9th. And that was it. I held on to that point for dear life. Right, we're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Welcome back. Bottom fourth. Still a 2-1 ball game. Al Spalding, the pitcher, settles in here. He reached via an error his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's low, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike at the lettering. And it's 1-1. I know you said you did some database editing, Kadava, but I take it the number of constructors couldn't be changed. Like you're hard locked at 11. Here's the 1-1. He's popped that up. Shortstop coming in for it right behind the mound. He's got it. And Spalding is retired. That'll bring up Chick Fulmer to shortstop. He flied out to center his last at bat. First pitch to him. It's lined right at the first baseman. He's got it. And that will retire Fulmer. Here's second baseman William Johnson. Reached via an error his first at bat. 2 down, nobody on. Here's the first pitch. That's grounded over to second. On to first in time, and just like that, the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for the second straight inning. And we go top 5th here in Cleveland. Rockford holding on to that 1-run lead. New inning, new sponsor. KXJ is a really cool Icelandic streamer. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Football Manager 26. He does play a game called Eco, which is really cool. It's like Minecraft, but there's different elements to it. A lot of like, it's just a lot. It's so different. It's like very unique. It's really fun to watch. Really relaxing to watch as well. Also plays games like Dave the Diver. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The ever so excellent KXJ is our sponsor for tonight's 5th inning. Dick McBride settles in. He's going to lead things off here in this 5th inning for Rockford. Here's the first pitch to him. That's in the dirt, 1-0. 1-0 pitch. That's grounded to the backstop. 1-1. The 1-1. That is popped up in right, but playable. Right fielder's there. He makes the grab. And Dick McBride is turned back towards the dugout. Brings up the top of the order in Cap Anson. He's 1 for 2 today. First pitch to Anson. That's well inside, ball 1. The 1-0. That's popped up and into right, but it's foul. It lands foul. The 1-1. Grounded to short. Throws over to first, but Anson's beat the throw. Anson hustles down the line. It was a tough throw. It came from deep short. And Anson's aboard with an infield single. Here's George Hall, left fielder. He's 1 for 2 today. First pitch is lined into right, base hit. So back-to-back singles has put first and second on with just one out. Here's second baseman Ross Barnes. Barnes is 1 for 2 today. Here's the first pitch to Barnes. That's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's high, ball 1. The 1-1. Outside, ball 2, and it's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That is off the plate, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch is popped up in the infield, right at the pitcher's mound. And shortstop comes in, he makes the play. And that's 2 down now. That brings up Lip Pike. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to Pike. And that's taken for a called strike. It's 0-1. Rockford needing to add, wanting to add to this lead. They've held on to a 2-1 lead so far. Here's the 0-1. That is taken for a called strike. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's grounded over to third. Diving stop, but it's a bad throw. It's a throw. It's an E5. Oh, boy. Pike is aboard on the error. Hall gets the second safely. Anson goes the third. The error is credited to Francis Abercrombie, the third baseman. And now the bases are loaded. Here comes Doug Allison. First pitch to Allison. He's grounded that. That is fair, and the third baseman takes it to the bag himself. And the side is retired. They get out of the inning without any issue. No runs on 2 hits, and they left the bases loaded. We go bottom 5th here in Cleveland. It's still Rockford holding on to a 2-1 lead. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Don't tell me I took an ad break and I totally forgot to go to break. That's embarrassing. I was looking up a message I got on the phone. Because my friend messaged me about going out on not Sunday. I almost said Sunday. It's going to snow Sunday. Saturday. So we were just settling in on time. How the fuck did I not go to... I could have sworn I cleared. I must have hit a hotkey to go back to game. All right, that's embarrassing. Anyway, sorry. I was like, oh my God. I was like, because she had messaged me. And because I had told her what time I was willing to go up there and and get her. And, yeah. Oh, that's embarrassing. Sorry. And she finally responded because she had to work. So like when I texted her this morning, I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking 12:30, 1 o'clock," and then I hadn't actually heard back from her. And she had just texted me back, like 20 minutes ago maybe, and was like, "Actually, that works really good." I said, "All right, cool." and then I was looking at something else she had sent me. Right. Bottom fifth. Denny Mack settles in, first baseman. He's 0 for 0. He had a sack his first at bat. So that doesn't actually, when you do a sacrifice, it doesn't actually count as an at bat. Here's the first pitch. And that's a called strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's inside, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Off the plate away. 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. That's 2-2. I've had a song bursting in my ears. You guys couldn't even hear it. That's embarrassing. Here's the 2-2. We're just going to move on. Ripped into right. Right fielder going back there. It's going to land foul. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That is popped up in foul territory. First baseman's over. He makes the grab. And that'll be the first out. Here is John Glenn, right fielder. He lined down to the first baseman his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to Glenn. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Hang on. Hang on. I just got Discord pinged. Who's pinged me? Who's pinged me? All right. Okay. I'm still here, just chilling. All good. I'm the kind of guy that keeps his... I don't know about you. I don't know about you lot, but I'm the kind of guy who keeps his Discord notifications clean. I hate it. Like, I'll watch Scheme stream, and I'll see he has, like, 6 Discord notifications from one Discord, and, like, 20 in another, and 40 in another, and 10 in another, and I'm like, I hate that. Like, my Discord is clean, period. Right, here's the 0-1. Called, strike 2, and it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Grounded over to first. Diving stop. It's a bad throw. Oh, it's a drop throw. It's a drop throw. It's an E1. And Dick McBride gets credited with the error. I have every Discord's notification on mute except for my everyday one with friends. I have a few that give me notifications, but not very many. Nine times out of 10, my Discord notifications are set to the server itself is muted. At everyone and at here tags are suppressed. All role mentions are suppressed. Highlights are suppressed. Mute new events is turned on. So, like, new events are suppressed. Push notifications are suppressed. The only server notification that's on is @ notifications. So if you actually @ tag me, yes, I will get a notification. But if you @ everyone, or you @ a role, or you just post in the Discord, I won't see it, period. And that's the setting for 90% of the Discords I have. And then there's like 1 or 2 that I'm in that, like Grace Tendo, I have her go live notifications on because I like her a lot. And like I like her streams quite a lot, so her notifications are turned on. And then Chaotic99, who I raided, I think over the weekend, or it might have been Friday or something like that, or whatever, Wednesday, some shit. Whenever she streams, when I raided her last, she goes live so infrequently that I have her because she'll average maybe 1 to 2 streams a month, tops, and I have her notifications on. But like that's basically it. I mean, the only server I don't have muted is my own, basically. Right. Francis Abercrombie will settle in. He popped up the short his last at bat. Here's the first pitch. He's going to bunt that down to third base, and that's a pretty good bunt. The throw over to first. That is, ooh, that's bad. That's really bad. That is an E5, so it's back-to-back errors for Rockford. And that is a 2-base error as well. So you just like us? I don't like anybody. No, just teasing. It's a fumbly-wumbly. And it's second and third now with 1 out. No, I hate notifications. I want notifications. If you're going to ping me, it has to be important. Like that's the mindset I take. Like if I'm going to get pinged, it has to be important. What in God's name is Rockford? Sarah Phil, welcome in. It's Rockford, Illinois, my man. You don't know Rockford, Illinois? How are your Yankees doing? Well, they don't exist. I'll bring up Dave Egler. What's this? Look at the reply. Look at what Stream Elements put. The New York Yankees do not exist yet. Right, here's Dave Egler. First pitch to Egler. And that's a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That's lined into right center. That's a base hit. That's runs. That is runs. Dave Egler is going to have a double. And it's a 2 RBI double. Scoring from third is John Glenn. Scoring from second is Francis Abercrombie. And Cleveland have taken the lead 3-2. What the dog doing? RC1 are the Rockford Forest Citys. CL1 is the Cleveland Forest Citys. Welcome in, David. If you guys are a little bit confused, then the full names and their records are in the stream title. It's E is an error. Look up here. Error. Right? 2 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors. So every time a player gets an error, it's exclamation point E. What does 1 mean? I don't know. I just think it's naming because the team switched cities so much back in the day. I just think OOTP added the 1 to keep track of which iteration. Because, like, for example, Troy in 1871, they fold in 1872 in real life. So in the game, they get the 1871 and the 1872 season. In like 1880, the Troy Haymakers come back, and they have like somebody relaunches the Troy Haymakers, and they have like another 6-season spell, and then they fold again. So like, in 1871 they'll be like TR1, and then when they fold and they come back, they'll be TR2, and then you know what I mean, because teams. There was so little money in the game back then, just in general, like it was so little money going around in professional sports back then, that teams folded and spawned constantly. I mean, constantly. So I think the 1 just represents the iteration of the team, and that's how Out of the Park keeps track of them throughout their throughout the save. Here's the first pitch to Fred Cohn. He's going to check swing, but it's going to be in there for a ball. So it's 1-0. What the dog doing? What's up? What the dog doing? The dog's right here, David. Dog's right here. How are you, man? Here's the 1-0. That's grounded to the backstop. It'll be 1-1. And welcome back, KXJ. How have you been, man? How was your weekend? Here's the 1-1. That's off the plate, 2-1. The 2-1. That's foul to the backstop, 2-2. Pretty wasted, not gonna lie. I can't be like that, bro. I can't be like that. Weekend was amazing, 10 out of 10. Give me the details, my friend. We want the details. Here's the 2-2 to Fred Cohn. That is popped up into left. That's going to drift foul on the land foul. We'll do it again. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's grounded foul down the third base side. We're doing it again. 2-2 popped up in the left, drifting foul, and it's going to land foul. I went in bowling competition, had the game series of my life. Let's freaking go. What did you bowl? Iceland won Sweden in handball? Wow. 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 United won Arsenal? Yeah. Hey. That's true. That's a fantastic weekend. And Liverpool lost, right. Here's the 2-2. Grounded over to second. On to first, that's in time. The second out again. Why did I write 4-2? He didn't go home plate. It's 4-3. 4-3. You bowled no worse than 180. That's really good. That's very good. Right. Here's catcher Deacon White settling in. Well done, by the way. White is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Runner on third, 2 down. Here's the first pitch to White. He's fouled that to the backstop. It's 0-1. The 0-1 outside, ball 1. The 1-1 is outside, ball 2, and the ball gets away. The throw home is not in time. It's a wild pitch, and Egler scores. And it is 4-2 Cleveland. Both West Ham teams won this weekend too, and they're both fighting against relegation. Is it like FM? But it is, yeah. But you know what the crazy thing is? This is 1871. So, like, all the historical seasons for baseball are baked into the base game. So you can play any season of historical baseball that you want to. It's great. Here's the 2-1. That is shot into right, base hit. White's got himself a single. That's really cool. Yeah, it is. And all the players that you see on your screen, these are all real-life players that existed back in that time. So, like, Dick McBride was actually a pitcher back in 1871. Al Spalding is actually a Hall of Famer, IRL. He played in 1871. You know, Lit Pike played in 1870. He's another Hall of Famer. Like, all those guys played in 1870. It's all real players. Right. Then I'll bring up pitcher Al Spalding. He's going to settle in. Here's the first pitch to Spalding. Swung on and missed. That's a called strike. 0-1. The throw over to second is not in time. And Deacon White has stolen second base. Here's the 0-1. Grounded foul. It'll be 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Inside, ball 1. 1-2. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And the side is retired. 3 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the top of the 5th, and Cleveland have finally taken the lead. It is 4-2. Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys will be first baseman Joe Start. New ending means new sponsor. Patwitz is an amazing streamer from the Philippines who does Football Manager, F1 Manager, and some Apex Legends. He's an awesome guy, real chill guy, amazing streamer. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Patwitz sponsors our 6th inning here today. It'll be Joe Start selling in the first baseman. First time this game Rockford have been leading. Oh, I got a follow from him. Thanks for that. You're welcome. Here's the first pitch to Joe Start. That's off the plate. 1-0. Are you streaming tomorrow, KXJ? Here's the 1-0. That's lined into left. Base hit. And Joe Start is aboard with a single. Brings up George Bird. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to Bird. He's going to bunt that down to the mound. Pitcher's got it. He goes to second. Did he get it? He's safe. He's safe. He's safe. He did not get it. It's going to be called a sack fielder's choice. So it's an SAC FC. And he goes to first base. And then I have to run to work. Oh, okay. Are you going to the handball game? Or are you just watching it on TV? Now that'll bring up George Wright, the shortstop. First and second, nobody out. Watching TV, nice. That is one sport. If I go to the LA Olympics, which I'm trying to go to LA, but if I do go to, it's in Sweden. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, if I do go to the LA games, which I would like to go, I want to see handball. I do like handball quite a bit. Here is the first pitch to Wright. And that's in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Handball water polo. Cricket's going to be in LA 28, so I definitely want to see cricket. I would love to see baseball and softball, but that's in Oklahoma City, and there's no way I'm going to do that. Buy a good bowling ball? Really? What else? Definitely handball, water polo, maybe tennis. Probably not tennis. If I did, it would be for the women's side. I'm not really big into the men's side of tennis right now, mainly because it's just Djokovic dominating. So, ever impending sense of doom. What's good, man? And I haven't really taken to players like Alcaraz. So, how you doing, my man? They have the strongest league there. Yeah, but the Olympics, man, Olympic handball. Neighbors' dogs have been barking for 20 minutes. Our neighbors' dogs are like that. Any other dog or any other animal, bark, bark, bark. You imply that Djokovic no longer dominates. It's now complete domination by Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner. Sinner. I haven't seen Sinner, but I do know that Alcaraz. I've not really taken to him. So the women's game to me is a little bit more wide open. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I would go to see the women's game, because it's a smidge more unpredictable. So never had a trained dog do it. Wow. Where am I at? Right. First, here's the 0-1 to George Wright, and that's off the plate away, 1-1. I mean, my neighbor's dogs, I don't think are trained. They bark all the time. Right. Here's the 1-1. That's grounded foul. 1-2. I mean, my old golden retriever was trained, and she only barked whenever a visitor was walking up to the door, because the front door, I used to live in a brick house in Philadelphia when I had the dog, and it gets very hot in Philadelphia. It's very humid on the East Coast. So what you do is you have like a storm door, and you open that, and then you have a screen door, right? And the screen door, the dog would always lay in front of, especially in the afternoon, because the sun went on the other side of the house. So the dog would lay there, right? Just watch the cars go by. So if the mailman or whatever was coming up, the dog would bark because she thinks it's a visitor. You know what I mean? And like it's an alert that somebody is coming to the front door. But after that, the dog, whenever the guy, like if it was the mailman, he put the mail in, he turned his back and he started walking away. The moment he did that, the dog stopped barking, My dogs don't really bark. Like it better have been a good reason. Right, exactly. Going to head off. All right, have a great night, Swanky. Thank you for swinging by, man. Take care of yourself. Yeah, and that's fine. It has a reason, and as long as it stops when they come in. Yeah. Night, Swanky. Right. The 1-2 pitch incoming. Lined up the middle, base hit. And George Wright has got the bases loaded. And nobody is out. Cleveland led this game 2-1 for multiple innings. And they now trail by a score of 4-3, but they have a chance to make up for it here. Dick McBride, the pitcher. 1 for 2 today with an RBI. All right, Kickster. First pitch. And that is a base hit. And McBride's done it again. Dick McBride has got an RBI single. It's his second hit of the game. His second RBI of the game. Wright goes to second. Bird goes to third. Scoring is Joe Start. And it's a one-run game. That will bring up Cap Anson. He is 2 for 3 so far today First pitch to Anson. He's going to take that for a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Inside 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. And he's lined that right at the second baseman. He's got to get back to first. The throw in the first. He's jogged back there, and he's not got back in time. He's lined into a double play. It is a DPL 4-3. Getting thrown out at first is Dick McBride. This is the second time McBride has failed to get back in time on a line out. And that will remove him from first. It removes Anson from the batter's box. And now it's second and third with 2 outs. That'll bring up George Hall. Hall, 2 for 3 today. He also lined into a double play himself. Here's the first pitch to Hall. He's ripped this into deep right, going way back there. Has he done it? It's just bounces before the wall. And this is going to be a triple. And George Hall slides into third base. He's safe at third. And he's got himself a 2-run triple. Scoring from third is Bird. Scoring from second is George Wright. And it is 5-4. Rockford have retaken the lead. Ross Barnes settles in now. Runner 90 feet away. 2 outs. Barnes 1 for 3 today. Here's the first pitch to Barnes, and he's taking that inside. Ball 1. The 1-0. He's grounded that to the backstop. 1-1. The 1-1. He's grounded that towards second. On to first. That's in time, and the side is retired. 3 runs on 4 hits, and they left 1 on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Rockford have jumped right back into the lead, 5-4. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the the dogs. Yeah, I don't want to go back to the intro. Right. That was me last night. The neighbor across the street who I'm undecided on him. But he decided, because the snow and the ice was going to stop around 10 o'clock, he just at night, okay? He decided that's when he's going to shovel. Like most of us, we shoveled once or twice, and we knew that we were going to have to do it again today. He decided, no, I'm doing it the moment it stops, no matter how late. So I was in bed last night at 10:30. Yeah, I know. I was in bed last night. I'll come back to that. I was in bed last night at 10:30, and he was just, all you heard was, and I'm like, it's too late to be doing this, dude. It's just too late to be doing this. So, just have no awareness. I know, yeah. I just saw, yeah, I know, the number one player in the Gold 50. I was like, whoa. It's like, whoa. Yeah. I can't remember if it was Crack or it was Mossman, but I was talking to them on one of their streams, like, this was weeks and weeks ago. And I said, you know, we really had a super team there. Like, we had world-class players. And somebody's like, how can you really have world-class players from Korea? I'm like, bro, just trust, man. Like, I don't know how to tell you. We did. And the Gold 50 proves, man, we really did have an unbelievable team. If you're unaware of what we're talking about, ever pending Sense of Doom, my FM23 save I started in Korea. I have had 4 players make the Gold 50 that I had in Korea after they left Korea. So after they left Korea, they went to Europe, and they made the Gold 50. 3 of them have made the Gold 50 for 3 consecutive years. You did mention this in my chat. I mentioned that I had gotten the number 1 guy this year, but 3 of those players made the Gold 50 for 3 consecutive years. One of them popped up, and he's not popped up again. But, yeah. We've had some stellar guys. Oh, you know what's crazy, too, by the way, Pat? Alexander Smooth as Satin. Remember that young kid we brought from Adelaide? Kadava will remember him, too. He went to Casapia after Pacific, and Casapia have just sold him. I think he's gone to Middlesbrough. But he's in England now. He's made it to England. So, and if I remember correctly, Middlesbrough are in the Prem as well. They're back in the Prem now. So we've sold so many players. Like Osaze's one of my former players. He actually went to, I think he's at Forest now, or no, he's at Blackburn. He went to Everton. Everton sold him to Blackburn. Osaze De Rosario went to Everton. Blockbuster went to Man City. Chae Dong-yo went to Bayern Munich. Paxton Aronson went to Union Berlin, and then went to Real Madrid, where he's currently at. Kim Sung-min went to PSG. Owethu Makanya went to PSG. Owen Akakia went to PSG. Kim Min-ho went to Sporting Kansas City. And somebody went to Porto. I can't remember. I think Block went to Porto and then Man City, but I think somebody else is at Porto. I know Leo, which I haven't seen Leo in months, but he's at Augsburg. So Lee Min-ho went to Man City. You're right. I don't know where he is in the save. That might be something if you remind me or if I remember, let's look him up when I play it. So. Not bad for the kid. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I mean, obviously, players like Leo and Block and Lee Min-ho, they're all created players. But, like, all the rest of those guys I mentioned, they're real players. And they all, at some point, came into Gimpo and left for a stellar career. You're continuing your Polis save at the moment? Give me the details about it. Where are you at? Because it's been a while since I think I've seen you play it, so. Right, Chick Fulmer will settle in, the shortstop. He's 0 for 2, bottom 6. Here we go. So, all that, by the way, ever impending Sense of Doom, that was all that in 8 seasons. He's popped up to the first baseman who's got it, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So, that wasn't like 20 seasons long. I did all of that in 8 seasons. You know what? So is when people ask me, "Oh, how's the longest save off season?" But the club turned pro, Pat. That's the other thing. The club turned pro. Um, so we're only the second professional club in Iceland now, and what do you call it? We have $3 million in the bank. The loan that they took out. Remember, I came in and they were like desperately in need of money. They were $500,000 in debt. They had that bank loan was $6 million. The loan I think is down to 4.1 or 4.2 million now. So can't wait till we get off Iceland, bro. I came into season 12 wanting to win a trophy and walking out with nothing. Here's William Johnson, by the way. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to Johnson. And he's popped this up in the infield, right at the shortstop. He's popped it up right at the shortstop. He makes the play, and that's the second out. So I still need League Cup, Icelandic Cup, and the league. But we are in UEFA Conference League next season. I entered you. This is how crazy. I will never talk about. Just real quick. I will never talk bad about UEFA Conference League because I understand what it does to the smaller clubs. We're paying $12,000 a week in wages, right? I enter the Conference League in the first qualifying round. If we make the third qualifying round, that's all we need to reach is the third qualifying round. If we make the third qualifying round, the money is from making the third qualifying round is enough to pay the wage bill for the entire season. And that's not even getting into groups or getting into the league phase. That's literally just advancing 2 rounds. And advancing 2 rounds is enough to pay the wage bill for the entire year. Like, that's crazy. That's genuinely crazy. Just getting in alone, even if we bow out right away, the money is enough to pay the wage bill for 3 months. And if we make the second round, the money is enough to pay the wage bill for 8. Like, that's just huge for those clubs. Here's Denny Mack. He's 0 for 1. Here's the first pitch. He's going to take that for a called strike on the inside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. That's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded foul. We'll do it again at 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swung, or strike 3. He struck out looking. That's a backwards K on the old scorebook, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top 7th. 5-4, Rockford. I never recorded the actual swinging strikeout from the last inning, so there you go. There's the swinging strikeout from the 5th. Right, new inning, new sponsor. You've definitely missed a few of those. I'll say that. That's just making up for lost time. Right, Kadava is an excellent streamer. He has got an awesome alternative history save going with F1 Manager 24, where he's in 2013 season, and he's got the likes of Jordan, Jaguar, Toyota still around. Give him a follow if you haven't already. It's a really interesting save. The Great Kadava is our sponsor for today's 7th inning. Oh, bro. Listen. I want to get new emotes. I like my emotes. I think they're really cute. They are a bit dated. Like all the static ones are 6 years old, and all the animated emote, I'm never changing that. That's just fucking perfect, right? I can't wait for 26 mods. Yeah. So I love my emotes. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of spaces, right? I have 7 static space emotes open, and I have 10 animated emotes open, and I have all the bit emotes open. I don't have anything for the bit the bit badges, I should say, not the bit emotes, but the bit badges, right? And so I asked on Blue Sky. I said, listen, and I know Blue Sky is also littered with bots, kind of like Twitter. Not as bad as Twitter, but there's bots on Blue Sky, right? So I limited the post to just people who follow me, and I said, listen, if you follow me and you have an artist you like, reply, tag them, please. And if you follow me and you are an artist, like, post your portfolio so I can go look at it, right? I've had 2 people I had one person try to friend request me on Discord, right? And I'm like, I've not asked you to do that. Like, you just randomly friend request me. I don't know who you are. No mutual servers, no mutual friends. 99.9% of the time, I'm going to think that's a compromised account. So I'm not going to like it or to accept the friend request. The other person came into this chat, never been in this chat before, typed !Discord, went into the Discord because they couldn't add me in Discord, went into my Discord, and I have direct messages from my Discord on because it's my Discord. So, and then started direct messaging me, or someone who offers graphics. Yeah. And I'm like, listen, I didn't ask you to DM me on Discord. Like, I know I should be nice and be like, oh, it's somebody who might want an opportunity, blah, 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 blah. But, like, none of that was what I asked for. I asked for a reply to the Blue Sky post. And I'm like, and that's why, if you guys have noticed in the Discord, I updated the rules. And I updated the language on rule number 6. Because I'm like, they're literally DMing me to get around the rules, and I'm like, if you're gonna promote, do it and look at me. I don't care if I don't care how much you promote. I really don't. I love going into the look at me channel. Somebody's posted they've gone live, and then I can get your stream up and lurk in it. I love that. That's fantastic. You know what I mean? That's what it's there for. But like, all of the promotion has to go there. And DMing me and spamming, like, they sent hi. They sent one message, they're like, hi. Second message, I saw you on emotes. Third message, here's my portfolio. Fourth message, let me know if you're interested. Like, first off, the post that I put on Blue Sky says, I'm not going to even contemplate doing it until June. And then second off, you've just sent me four pings to my phone. Like, I'm not going to be happy with you. You know what I mean? I'm going to be quite peeved that you're blowing up my phone. Right, Limp Pike will settle in. Pike is 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch. He's going to take that for a call. That's right. That's why I posted on Blue Sky afterwards. I'm like, listen, I hate being aggressively marketed to. And, like, if I ask you to reply, and you can see that I have the post that says followers only, and you don't follow instead of following the Blue Sky account and then just replying, you go to my Discord and then spam me 4 times with messages. Like, I don't think I'm going to use your service, man. I'm going to tell you to fuck right off. Without it, and I don't mean to be mean. I know that sounds mean, but, like, I don't know, man. It just doesn't rub me the right way. Here's the 0-1. That's outside, ball 1. You know what I mean? You know when, like, you should be nicer and more, and being able to be like, okay, I'll take a look at your portfolio or something like that, and maybe you do that. But I hate being aggressively marketed to. I hate being marketed to in general, but I was like, listen, I've not asked for any of this. So I literally kicked them from the server first thing. I said, this is your first ever the first ever thing you did was advertised to me, and the rules state that it has to go and look at me. So I said, you're free to come back. I told him in the kick message, like, you're free to come back, but if you do it again, it just or you message me, DM me, asking for the kick to be removed, it just turns into a ban. Like, I don't know what else to say. Here's the 1-1 outside, 2-1. I'm not very strict on, like, this. All the football talk has to go in football. All the this talk has to go in this channel. I just want to make sure the promotion goes and look at me. That's the only channel I'm really strict with that stuff about. Here's the 2-1. That's grounded over to first, and he's going to take it to the bag himself, and that's going to retire. Lip Pike. Right, Doug Allison will settle in. He's 1 for 3. And that's grounded over to third, on to first in time, and that will retire Allison. Right, I lost game sound, so we're not game sound, but I'm going to go box score and back, and then that should allow the bat sounds to return. Joe Start settles in. He singled his last at bat. He's 1 for 3. First pitch to Start. He's going to take that for a called strike. It's 0-1. I'm going to do game log just for good measure. There we go. Here's the 0-1. And it's below the knees. 1-1. I think you can blame the fact that I don't like being marketed to on being American, because over here it's just everything is blasted in your face. I mean, they try to shove advertising down your throat as deep as you let them. And I really don't enjoy that. Here's the 1-1. Outside, ball 2. It just makes it feel like every person, company, anything, that you deal with, product you want to buy, is never built for your quality of life. It's literally only built to sell you something and to take your money. And that's what I hate about it. So when people get like real aggressive and they like add me on 2-3 different platforms, I'm like, dude, back off. Okay, I'm not looking for snake oil. I'm looking for, a relationship I can establish with an artist, so that any time that I want an email or something, I can come back and say, hey, when you're free, hey, are you interested in working again? The guy who did my static one, Kreutz Arts, very good. Love him. Fantastic. Also from the Philippines, by the way. But he hasn't posted since 2023, and I can't contact him. He's just disappeared off social media. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't. I don't know what to do. Here's the 2-1. Inside, 3-1. I never promote. You should, Pat. You should. Here's the 3-1. That's ripped over to second. On to first. That's in time, and the side is retired. You hear it in game. It's time to play it. Might have a fam or got busy with life. Yeah, it's all. I mean, whenever you do go live, just promote the Discord. Oh, you mean him? Yeah, that's true. Why'd that bug? Oh my God, it's bugging out. No, I'm good with the small company. I'm good with any amount of company. You know that. I'm gonna be we're gonna be here relaxing. Right? You heard it in game. I'm gonna step away, stretch the legs. We're gonna play a time-honored classic. It is Harrison Scheckler and Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We'll be back in 2 minutes' time. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play ball, have a drink. Thank you. I kind of do need it, actually. So I took this in the other room to drink it, and I did take a swig, but I'll take another one. I definitely do need it. Thank you. Play ball. I love that. So it's such a neat video because obviously it's from the COVID time, right? And it's like a Zoom call with all these people singing in unison, right? And some people are playing the violins over the Zoom call. Other people are on like the brass, like a French horn and stuff. But they got one of the actual MLB umpires at the end, and he's in his full uniform. He dressed up in his full uniform, and he's in his house in his big old umpire gear, and he just pulls his mask off and then goes, play ball. And I'm like, that's cool. It's cool that they got him to do that, and he's agreed, and they put it all together. It's a neat little video. So, right, bottom seventh, Cleveland trailing by a run. They're going to have John Glenn settle in. He's 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch to Glenn. Swung on it, missed. That's 0-1. Yeah. I just would want all of my emote. I think on the emote talk real quick is here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's grounded back up the middle, base hit. And Glenn is aboard, but it's an error on the outfielder as well. So it goes down as a single, and then an E8 on the outfielder. Center fielder George Bird getting credited with the error. Now real quick, that's the 5th for Rockford. Who else committed the error? Fielding error. Oh, Anson has 2. I did forget to record Anson's second. So Glenn is aboard. He's on second. That brings up Abercrombie. But yeah, on the emote talk, I would like it to be uniform. You know what I mean? I would like my emotes to all come from one, maybe 2 artists, which is why I love my emotes. But I would that's a pass ball. That's gonna allow Glenn to go to third. And counts 1-0. Runners 90 feet away. Nobody out. So it'd be nice to have that kind of uniformity. If I can get Dreamster to do all my emotes, I would. Dreamster is the one who did the VAR emote. They're incredible. You guys have seen me raid Mia Makes Music before many times. He makes all her emotes as well. Fantastic emote artist. But number one, they're very expensive, and number two, they've stopped taking commissions for at least like 6 months. Like that, they haven't actually had open commissions since I'm gonna say the spring or the summer. So here's the 1-0. That's inside, ball 2. And I just think they work with a lot of big streamers or bigger streamers. So they're always in demand a lot more, and those streamers, they have an open line of communication. Anytime they want an emote, boom, they reach out to them and pay them for it, and it's like that work has been enough to keep them off of commissioning, you know what I mean, or taking commissions. So here's the 2-0. That's hot. Oh, is Mike low? Is Mike low? Mike is not low. No. The answer is no. That is a wild pitch, and that allows Glenn to score. So he goes all the way around the bases on a single, an error, a passed ball, and a wild pitch, and this game is tied up. I'm not seeing Mike low. I'm on minus 7.5. I'm hitting the yellow. I can up it, but I risk peaking now. So, right, the 3-0 pitch to Abercrombie. Right down Broad Street. It's 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's grounded over to second. On to first, that's in time for the out. That'll bring up Dave Egler. Egler is 2 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Egler. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Ripped into right. Going back. It's over the right fielder's head. This is going to be extra bases. This is going to be at least a double. He's going for the triple. Can he get there in time? The throw over to third is not in time. He's made it. And that is a triple for Egler here in the 7th. That brings up Fred Cone. He's 0 for 3. First pitch to Cone. That's a called strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over to first, and that is an error. An E3. Errors are absolutely killing Rockford. It's a story as old as time. And they've been hurting them since the start of the season. They've come back to haunt them again. It's their 6th error of the day. And now there's runners on the corners with 1 out. Welcome in, FM Doctor. Oh, you know what? I think I know what the issue is. I think I know what the issue is. I have, you know what, Pat? I know what the issue is, Pat. It's not that Mike's low. It's that I accidentally bumped the wrong slider. So the slider for out of the park got bumped up by accident. And now that is significantly louder than it was in the previous innings. Let me just bump that back down to about minus 17.5. Going to be lurking doing something at the minute. All right. Appreciate it. There we go. Now you should be able to hear me a lot better over the game. Thank you, Pat. Right, that'll bring up. Oh, that's the wrong pitcher. I just marked this next pitch under the wrong pitcher. Going here. That'll bring up Deacon White, the catcher. Runner on first and third. Here's the pitch. Only 1 out. Inside, ball 1. Yeah, that needs to come up a smidge. I actually can't remember what I had it on. That's why. The 1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2. The 2-0. Throw over to first. Runner's back safely. The 2-0. That's a called strike. The throw over to second. Not in time. And Fred Cone has stolen second base. Here's the 2-1. They've intentionally walked him. IBB. That's the first IBB in the history of baseball. And that's going to bring up Al Spalding, the pitcher. Spalding is 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch. And that is low for a ball. Here is the 1-0. That is fouled into the seats. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That is ripped into center. Is it playable? Way back there. The center fielder is going to make the catch. the throw coming in, but I believe the man is tagged up. It is. It's a sac fly. And Spalding gets the job done. Dave Egler will score on the play. And Cleveland have taken the lead. That brings up Chick Fulmer. He's 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Fulmer. First and second. 2 outs. That's inside. Ball 1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. That's 1-1. The 1-1. Called. Strike 2. And that's 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. Popped it up in the infield. Shortstop's coming in. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. 2 runs on 2 hits. And they leave 1 aboard. No, they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top 8th. Cleveland have retaken the lead. It's 6-5. Due up first for the Rockford Forest Citys is left fielder George Bird. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not the middle of the half inning. I got to do the shout-out. My bad. I'm all over the shop tonight. I take 3 days off from streaming, and I can't even remember how the hell to do it. Right, new inning, new sponsor. David Nyholm is an awesome streamer who has an A to Z challenge going in FM 26. He's also part of an awesome network safe with him. KJ plays Hludu and Ziggurat. Also plays a bit of Hitman. Give him a follow if you haven't already. The great Dane himself, David Nyholm, is our sponsor for tonight's 8th inning. One-run game here in Cleveland. George Bird settling in 0 for 2. First pitch to him from Al Spalding. And he's going to take that for a called strike. That's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. That's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch is off the plate away. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That's ripped over to short. On to first in plenty of time, and George Bird is retired. That brings up George Wright, shortstop. He is 2 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Wright. Check swing, he didn't go, and it's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Off the plate, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. That's grounded over to short. On to first, and it's in time. And George Wright will sit down. That brings up Dick McBride. McBride is 2 for 3 with a pair of RBIs. First pitch to McBride. That's grounded in front of the mound over to first. That's in time, and McBride is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go bottom 8th. Cleveland holding on to a run game. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom 8th in Cleveland. Only 5 hits for Cleveland, but they've got 6 runs across the plate. And that's all that matters. They lead this game by a run. William Johnson will settle in. Johnson, currently 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Johnson. He's popped it up. Right behind second base. Shortstop's over there. He makes the grab, and that is going to be Johnson retired here. That's going to bring up Denny Mack, first baseman. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to Mack. It's taken off the plate 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Grounded foul, and it'll be 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Off the plate away, 2-1. Here's the 2-1 now. He's going to take that for a called strike at the lettering. And it's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Grounded foul down the first base side. We'll do it again. Here's the 2-2. Outside and low, ball 3. 3-2. Here's the pitch. Grounded back to the mound. Throw over to first. He saved. He beat the throw. Johnson with the speed gets down first base. And so 1 on, 1 out for John Glenn. He's 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch to Glenn. It's a bunt, sac bunt. Pitcher's got it. That's over to first. That's going to be the second out. That brings up Francis Abercrombie, who is 0 for 3 today. This says 0 for 2. I think it was. Because did he not sack? He tried to sack. Was it 4-3? That doesn't. It does not make sense that he would be. He should not be. No. He should. That. Oh, you know what? It was a sack error. That's why. It was an E5 sack in the 5th. So yes, he's 0 for 2. Here is the first pitch to him. Swung on and missed. That's 0-1. 0-1 is lined foul. And it's 0-2 now. Here's the 0-2. Grounded back to the mound. The throw over to first is in time. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go top 9th. Rockford down to their final 3 outs. It is 6-5 Cleveland. The Forest Cities lead the Forest Cities. Thanks, OOTP. Right, final inning, new sponsor. Ever-impending sense of doom is a football manager and part variety streamer. Give them a follow if you haven't already. Real cool place to just chill out, hang, and talk. And he's a real cool guy. Give him a follow if you haven't already. Ever-impending sense of doom is our sponsor for tonight's 9th inning. Right. Rockford need to at least tie this game to force a bottom 9th. Cleveland trying to go 3 up, 3 down and close this out. It's top of the order for Rockford. Cap Anson 2 up first. He's 2 for 4. First pitch to Cap Anson. And he's taking that for a called strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. That's high, ball 1. The 1-1. Inside, ball 2. 2-1 now. Here's the 2-1. And that's lined into right, and that lands foul. It'll be 2-2. The 2-2. Outside, ball 3. And it is 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And that's ripped right at the shortstop. He's got it for the first out. George Hall settles in now. Hall is 3 for 4 so far today. First pitch to Hall. That's fouled into the seats. It's 0-1. Thanks, Benny. You're welcome. Here's the 0-1. That is popped up deep into left, going way back there, and it's over the wall. He's done it. George Hall has smacked a solo home run, and he's tied the game with one swing of the bat over the wall in left field. And George Hall will touch them all as it's 6-6. Yeah, this is liable to get you tried for witchcraft in 1871. Well, I'm sorry about the dogs and the neighbors. That brings up Ross Barnes. Barnes is 1 for 4. I know you don't understand this game, but I love you. I appreciate you, man. Here's the first pitch to Barnes, and that's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Outside, ball 2. The 2-0. Inside, ball 3. And now it's a 3-0 count. It is FM for baseball, yes. Here's the 3-0. He's taking that right down Broad Street. It's 3-1. Here's the 3-1. Swung on and missed. That's 3-2. Nice. Yeah. It has every historical season going all the way back to 1871, the very first professional season of baseball in the world, which is where we are at. You can play any historical season in Major League Baseball, 1871. The league itself, I think, started in 1854, maybe 58, but it didn't turn professional until 1871. They have all the history of who played, what team they were on, what the teams were, who won, what the records were. All of that history has been preserved. And Out of the Park, these are all real-life players who played back then. Out of the Park lets you pick up in any season. They also have other leagues. They have the Mexican League. They have the British League. They have the Korean baseball organization as well. I really want them to get Nippon professional baseball, because literally the 3 biggest leagues in the world for baseball is obviously Major League Baseball in the U.S., right? Definitely number 2 is Nippon professional baseball, without a shadow of a doubt. And then number 3 might be Korean baseball, so we'll see. Gonna head to bed. Good night and see you tomorrow. Take care, Zegon Hayes. Thank you for being here, bro. So, right, here's the 3-2. And that's popped up in the infield. First baseman's there. He makes the grab. And that will retire Ross Barnes. They also have, where else baseball's really big? Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, really big in those. Yeah, the Japanese really love their baseball. I remember from Takeshi's Castle, yeah. There's a guy who streams Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation, which I also do stream. He's Japanese. He speaks a moderate amount of English. But I will talk to him sometimes if he's live, and he's a big baseball guy too. Like he goes to see Yokohama all the time. Yokohama is his team, the Yokohama All Stars, and he will go to watch Yokohama. I think it's really cool. Are Cuba still doing the whole must be amateur thing? I don't know. That's a great question. Can't forget Dominican Republic, Republica Dominica. Yes, they are they do love baseball too. The Netherlands, oddly enough, likes baseball a bit. It's not like huge over there. Like Rowan will tell you, it's never in the papers or on the news, but like they do have a league. And they're probably they're probably the country in Europe that likes baseball the most is the Netherlands. Netherlands, I think, do some basketball as well. Tallest nation on earth on average. Really? That I didn't know. And what's the average height of a Dutch male? Right. Here's here's Lip Pike. First pitch to Pike. He's going to take that for a ball. Pike is 0 for 4. Here's the pitch. We love baseball. That's outside, 2-0. Wait, Bobby, although most of our players come from the islands in the Caribbean. Wait, Bobby, I mean, that's the same way with Major League Baseball and things like that. Rounders is one of the Gaelic sports in Ireland, which is which is fairly similar. Yes. I mean, I'm Dutch. Got you. I didn't realize. I forgot you were Dutch. So I either forgot or I didn't know. You're 6'9". Jesus fucking Christ. I'm considered tall. I'm 6'3". So what does 6'9" put you? Like, does that put you? That's got to put you at an even 200 centimeters, doesn't it? Dutch are 6 foot on average, which is 10th in the world. I'm 6'3". Let's go. Here's the 2-0. That's grounded over to short. The throw is on to first. He's got it in time. And the ball game is over. Oh no, I'm sorry, not the ball games. The ball game's not over. We gotta go back. We gotta go to bottom ninth. I'm sorry. One run on the home run, and they leave nobody left on base. We're going to the bottom of the ninth. I'm 180 centimeters, so not like that really. I mean, 6'9's got to be like. I say I'm 6 foot. So not really. 6'9's got to be close like 203, 204. Then I'm 190.5 centimeters, and I'm 6'3". Right. We're gonna take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Okay, couple things to digest here. You're 206 centimeters. That's wild. That's wild. Big heat wave in Southeast Australia today. I'm struggling with 35 degrees where I am, but it's not. It's very mild compared to elsewhere. No, you don't play basketball. I play football, and I'm a left winger. Nice. You're on every corner. My every corner. You're in the box. My folks live in Adelaide. It was 35 at 5 in the morning. That's brutality, dude. Yeah, definitely stay cool. I think I saw you on FM today, perhaps. Wait, streaming or just playing? Not really, but a left winger with 6'4", at good pace. I was like, well, you're getting bought. Fair enough. I actually don't look for height with my wingers. I don't stick my wingers in the box, and I don't put my wingers on defensive duties. I only want my wingers to have pace, acceleration, dribbling, flair, and crossing. Funnily enough, my old team, I took corners on the right-hand side. There you go. Oh, you took them. You actually took the corners. Mainly because I was the only left-footed player. Oh, I see. Yeah. I don't look for height either, but this guy has everything I normally would look for, but he's 6'4". Height only affects jumping reach, believe it or not. Like, the jumping reach category is based off of your height, or it's affected by your height. So people look at height as like this big, massive thing. I hate how height is overplayed in FM. But height mainly only affects jumping reach. Because like a player who's 5'6", is only going to have maybe a 5 or 6 jumping reach. But a player who's 6'5" is going to have like a 15 or 16 jumping reach. Yeah, jumping reach is an absolute value. Yeah. I think there's some things that FMers think about as being one way, and if you read the manual, it's actually not that way. Like, for example, FMers always look at ambition. They want ambitious players. If you have an unambitious player and you are at a smaller club and you can he looks like he's got a lot of potential, you should 100% sign him, because ambition does not affect training. Ambition affects the wages they ask for, their wanting to move to another club should they be wanted by another club, or their willingness to move to another club should they be wanted by another club. And it also affects their willingness to demand things like an improvement in player quality, like, oh, I think and lack of depth, an improvement in the coaching squad, an improvement in training facilities. Ambition affects all of that. People still think determination is the important stat for development when professionalism is way more important. Yes, absolutely. Determination is great, but determination is more of a split stat between how well they apply themselves in games. Like, if I load the manual, I don't know if I can load the manual. Are you asking me between, do I have the manual? I don't think I do. I had a link to the manual. I had a tab open with the manual. Do I not have the manual tab open anymore? I'm looking through. I might not have saved that tab. And the website was bugged last time I went to it. Yeah, I did not save that tab. I would have to look for it. In terms of attributes, you can, like, non-hiddens, determination does. But in terms of hiddens, it's definitely professionalism. My main stats are work rate. Work rate's really good. Yeah, work rate's a big one for training too. Teamwork and composure, to be honest, not looked at those too much. Yeah. Work rate is a big one for training too. Work rate's really big. Right, Dave Egler settles in. Dick McBride is still on the mound. The question is, do they walk it off here or do we go extras? Here's the first pitch. Grounded right in front of home plate. The throw on to first, that's in time. And Egler is retired. Professionalism is big. Yeah, work rate's big. Composure I only need on players who I need to tackle and win the ball or finish the ball. Like composure, I don't need my wingers to have composure. My left and right, my AML, AMR, composure doesn't matter to me on them. But like my striker and my DM and my center backs, yes, I need them to have composure. I had one experience with Anthony Martial with a work rate of 4, and I vowed to never buy a poor work rate player again. Yeah. I mean, composure, I have a feeling, also affects how their morale, how they react in morale-wise to, like, if you get scored upon, you know, and their ability to keep focus in a game. Here's Fred Cone. Cone 0 for 4. First pitch to Cone. In there for a strike. I like the fact that the manual is now the FMOpedia. You know how you have the FMpedia in FM26? Maybe no, because important matches is its own stat. Here's the 0-1. That's a called strike 2 at the lettering. It's 0-2. Yeah, it's a hidden. Important matches is a hidden stat. Here's the 0-2. That's I thought that was right over the. I thought that was high enough, but it's below 1 and 2. Here's the 1-2. Grounded over to second. Throw one to first. That's in time, and Fred Cone is retired. So only termination increased attributes during training. I would imagine work rate does. Doesn't work rate have an effect? I'd have to look at the manual again. Now you got me looking for this stuff. Now you got me looking online at the manual. Staff, tactics. Is it under training? Is it under... What is it? It's not under quick start guide. Is it under... No. What is it under? I could have sworn it was under, like, your squad. Oh, players. Okay, determination. This is... Hold on. Determination. Right. Determination, a commitment to succeed both on and off the pitch. A determined player gives everything to win. This ties in with bravery. Players with a high number in one of these attributes may also be high in the other, as the traits are necessarily similar. Bravery, how braver players risk injury more in situations a more cautious player would shy away from. They compete more often in the air. They contest more 50-50 or low percentage challenges, both on the ground and in the air, and look to put their body on the line with blocks and last-ditch challenges. Work rate, the player's mental drive to fulfill their capacities. A higher rating ensures a player wants to work their socks off from start to finish, but needs the physical attributes to actually be able to pull it off. It does not merely represent a willingness to run, something that would be inappropriate in many positions, but rather the urgency with which a player gets to where they're supposed to be in all situations. So that's what the manual says. The manual doesn't have hidden attributes in here. I'm looking at the FM24 manual. So Yeah. So. Uh, Section, these details scale from attribute changes to new positions. The more further, the higher their overall level becomes. The tactics really, it might not have anything to do with. Really, the attributes might not have anything to do with. Uh, how well they train. That might be a possibility. There might not be an attribute link to that. If you could share a link to the manual, we can look too. That's a good freaking point. Now, this is the FM24 manual I'm looking at. So FYI, but there's the manual. Pretty sure Livermento had a poor important match stat. He always flopped in the big moments, or for 3 years anyway. Okay. Right, here's Deacon White, catcher. Oh, that's wrong. I just realized I made a mistake. There we go. I wrote him as a home run in the 7th. It wasn't. It was an IBB, so I had to write it as a walk. Right, he's 1 for 3. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Rounded foul. 0-2. The 0-2. Rounded foul again. Still 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing. They go to third. He didn't swing. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That's high. 2-2. The 2-2. Lined right at the shortstop. He's caught, and the side is retired. 9 innings is not enough here in Cleveland. We're going extras. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We are tied after 9. Top 10th. And Doug Allison will settle in. Allison currently 1 for 4. First pitch. That's low, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is popped up. Drifting foul. And that will land foul. The 1-2. Incoming. Grounded back up to short. Over to first. That's in time. That'll bring up Joe Start, first baseman. He's 1 for 4. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Grounded foul. 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's fouled into the seats. It remains 1-2. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. 2 away now. That's going to bring up a substitute for George Bird. Al Barker settles in. I'll still be heading out. Sorry, but I didn't do much with it. I appreciate you lurking, Tenth Shadow. Thank you so much, man. Have a great night. And take care of yourself, man. I'll talk to you another time. Take care, man. Have a great night's sleep. Here is the first pitch to Al Barker off the plate, ball 1. Barker 1 for 8 this season. Here's the 1-0. That's popped up behind the pitcher's mound, and that is grabbed for the out, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. It's still a 6-6 game here as we go bottom 10th. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in a minute and a half. Don't tell me the Oilers are about to blow a 5-2 lead, by the way, to the Ducks, who haven't won in like who just struggled to win. They lost like 10 straight, I think, or something like that. Right. Extra innings here. Bottom 10th, Al Spalding, the pitcher, settling in. It's still Dick McBride on the mound. Arms working extra today. Here's the first pitch to Spalding. And that's grounded over to short. That's a throw from deep short. It's in time. And Spalding is retired. That's going to be that's going to bring up Chick Fulmer, who's 0 for 4 today. First pitch to Fulmer. Grounded over the short. That's a diving stop. It's a bad throw. It's an E6. And Fulmer is aboard. It's the first base runner in extras. George Wright gets credited with the error. It's the 7th now for Rockford. It's the errors that have come back to haunt them. And the winning run is over on first base. That's going to bring up William Johnson. He's 0 for 4. First pitch to Johnson. It's ripped back in the middle. It's a base hit. And Fulmer goes to second. And now the winning run is not just aboard, it's in scoring position. Right. That's going to bring up, we got another substitute, by the way. For Denny Mack. 10th. 4-7. It'll be Ed Bevins coming in for Denny Mack. Bevins is 5 for 8 in the pinch hitting role so far this season. Very good as a pinch hitter. He's got 3 RBIs to his name. He's got a chance to really drive this game home. And he has ripped this in the left. Left fielder comes in. He's made the play. Nobody's advanced. And we might, or Rockford, I should say, might be able to get out of this inning. It'll be it'll be another substitution. It's George Hubel stepping in, and he's ripped this down. It's a base hit. Hubel with a single. Fulmer is held at third, and the bases are loaded for the worst hitter in the majors, Francis Abercrombie. Batting .075. Only 4 hits all season, but he has a chance, if he can do it, to win this game for Cleveland. Here's the first pitch to him. I'll remember this. I'm actually the manager of Rockford. I'll remember this. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He's fouled it to the backstop. It's 0-2. The 0-2 is ripped foul down the first base line. It's still 0-2. Here's the 0-2. He's taking that high, ball 1. The 1-2 pitch. Inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. That's outside, ball 3. This next pitch, if it's a ball, will win the game. Here's the pitch. It's grounded over the short. It's an error. It's an error on the shortstop, and the game is over. Francis Abercrombie gets credited with an error. I'm sorry. He gets the first base on the error, and the game is over. It doesn't count as a hit, but it does count as a run for Rockford. I'm sorry, for Cleveland. And they have done it. 1 run on 2 hits. They left the bases loaded, but they have done it in 10 innings. The final score here, the Rockford Forest Citys 6, the Cleveland Forest Citys 7. Wow. I mean, there was only 8 hits for Cleveland all game. That's brutality, bro. They lost on an error. They made 8 of them. It's an error on the shortstop, George Wright, so he gets his second error of the game, and that's how it goes. So let's do the thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that. Let's do this batting statistics, shall we? So game over. Here's the batting statistics for the Rockford Forest Citys. Cab Anson had 5 at-bats, 2 hits. He also committed 2 fielding errors. George Hall had a hell of a game. That's also an RBI, by the way. Let me mark that down. That's also an RBI. George Hall had a hell of a game. George Hall, that's a shame. He was a double short of the cycle. It's so hard to hit for the cycle. We're still waiting our first player in Major League history to hit for the cycle. Right. 5 at-bats for George Hall. He got a hit on 4 of them. 1 of them was a triple. 1 of them was a home run. He scored 3 RBIs. He scored 2 runs himself. Ross Barnes, he finishes with 5 at-bats. He only had 1 hit. He had a fielding error as well. Limp Pike had 5 at-bats. He did not score a hit. Doug Allison had 5 at-bats. He had 1 hit. Joe Start had 5 at-bats. 5 at-bats for Joe Start. He had 1 hit. He scored a run. He struck out. He committed a fielding error. George Bird had 4 at-bats because of the sack fielder's choice. So he had 4 at bats. He did not get a hit. He got an error. George Wright had 4 at bats. He had 2 hits. One of them was a triple. He also scored 2 runs, and he made 2 fielding errors, including the one that cost them the game. Um, oh, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I fucked up. Bird did not have 4 at bats because he was subbed off in the 10th. He had 3 at bats because that at bat went to Barker, who did not get a hit on that at bat. He popped up to short. So let me just fix that on the score sheet. There you go. And then Dick McBride had 4 at bats, had 2 hits, 2 RBIs as well, 1 fielding error. Right. Total at bats for the Rockford Forest Citys 20, 25, 30, 33, 37, 41, 42 at bats. Runs were. I missed a run. Who had a run? I've missed a run. 1, 2. Oh, George Bird had it. That's right. So 6 runs. Hits 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13. Yep, 13 hits. Of those hits, I don't think we had any doubles. And they were all singles or triples or home runs. Yes, no doubles, 2 triples, 1 home run, no base on balls, 1 strikeout, any no stolen bases. I got to record this sack under George Bird as well, and I think that was the only sack. Yes, that's the only sack. So 1 sack, 5 RBIs on the afternoon. But here's the big stat: 8 fielding errors. We'll come back for the pitchers in just a moment. For the Cleveland Forest Citys, Dave Egler had 5 at bats. He had 3 hits. He had 1 triple. And a double. So he was a home run away from hitting for the cycle. He scored 3 runs. He stole a base as well. And he had 2 RBIs. Fred Cohn had 5 at bats. He did not score a hit, but he did steal a base. I'm sorry. He had 4 at bats. He did not. He had an intentional base on balls as well. He walked. Deacon White. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not. Fucking hell! My eyes are failing me. That he did have 5 at bats, did not get a hit because it's Deacon White who had the intentional base on balls. So Fred Cohn 0 for 5, 0 for 5, 1 stolen base. Deacon White 1 for 4, so 4 at bats, 1 hit, 1 stolen base, 1 RBI, and 1 base on balls. Al Spalding, 4 at bats, no hits, 1 strikeout, 1 sack. Chick Fulmer, 5 at bats, no hits, 1 run. William Johnson, no, what am I doing? What am I doing? Right, William Johnson. I'd had to fix an error on the sheet again. Sorry. 5 at bats, 1 hit. Denny Mack, 3 at bats, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 sacrifice. John Glenn, 3 at bats, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 sacrifice. Francis Abercrombie, 4 at bats, no hits, 1 sacrifice, 1 run. Ed Bevins, 1 at bat, no hits. George Hubel, 1 at bat, 1 hit. And that is it. Total at bats for the Cleveland Forest Citys: 5, 10, 18, 23, 28, 31, 34, 38, 40. Runs 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where am I missing the runs? Who the fuck am I missing? Did I really mess up this bad on scoring? This is my first time doing out of the park in like a week, so that is definitely a possibility. 2, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, I got it. 7 runs. Hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. 1 double, 1 triple. Stolen bases was, I think, 2. Was it 2? I have a stolen base here. I have a stolen base here. Yes, 2 stolen bases. Quite a few sacks, actually, which is a surprise. Usually we only get like 1 a game per team, but they had 3 sacrifices. Strikeouts, 2, and RBIs, 3, and fielding errors, 1, base on balls, 1. There we go. Okay, the pitching statistics. This is what I need. This is always what I need a little bit of help with. So the pitching statistics. Dick McBride, 9 2/3. I have his pitch count as 143. That is correct. Whew, what an outing. 1 base on balls because it was the intentional walk. 2 strikeouts. 8 hits. 7 runs. Only 2 of those runs were earned. He gets credited with the loss. Dick McBride has an ERA versus Cleveland that's like 1.8 now, and yet he's got 3 losses against them, which is just stupid when you think about it. ERA is, for those that don't know baseball, ERA is earned run average. It's literally the amount of runs accredited to a pitcher as having given up to the opposition per game. So if you get on base because you get a hit off me and then you wind up scoring, you count as an earned run. But if you get on base for a different reason, like you get on base via an error, or you get on base via a fielder's choice, then the earned run is not credited to me as the pitcher. And if you come home, it doesn't count as an earned run. So it's literally a way to wage how many runs a pitcher is accounted for as having given up over the course of 9 innings. And it's insane that his ERA is that low versus the opponent, and yet he's 1-3 against them. Al Spalding, he pitched 10 innings. I have his pitch count as 134. That is correct. Base on balls, none. There were no walks. He struck out 1. He gave up a lot of hits. He gave up 13 hits, 6 runs, but only, and all of them were earned, and yet they didn't come away with the win. That's insane. That's insane. He gets credited with the win. That's insane. It's insane that the pitcher that gave up 3 times as many runs got the win. That is flat out crazy. 8:50 in attendance, official game time, 2 hour, 43 minutes. Your standings. Let's check your scores, actually, elsewhere across the league. The Fort Wayne Kekiungas, that's a big game. The Fort Wayne Kekiungas 13-7 over the Chicago White Stockings. Mind you, Chicago is the team leading the National League. Fort Wayne is the team directly chasing them in the National League. So Fort Wayne get a game above 500. They're 8-7. Chicago fall to 8-6, and that means that Fort Wayne has pulled within a half game of Chicago now in the National League. Elsewhere, the Philadelphia Athletics get absolutely hammered, 20-6 by the New York Mutuals. New York improves to 6-7, and Philadelphia now in a big slump. They drop to 9-7. If we look at the standings, Philadelphia 5-5 in their last 10. They've slipped to 9-7. They're now 3 back. It's Washington 5.5 back of Boston in the American League at the bottom at 7-10. Philadelphia 9-7. 3 back. Cleveland's win keeps them, pulls them within 2 of Boston. Cleveland up to 9-5. Boston 10-2 now, and having won 9 straight has Boston. They lead the American League by 2 games. Over in the National League, this is insanely tight. This part of the season, we're at basically the halfway point of the season. Troy is out of it. They're 4-15. They're 6.5 games back. They've played 19 games. The opening season here in 18-7 is only 32 games, so they've played 19. They have 13 games left, and they are 6.5 back. Then it's us at 9-11, the Rockford Forest Citys. 2 games back of Chicago after their loss to Fort Wayne. The New York Mutuals have now leapfrogged us into fourth at 6-7. They're a game and a half back. Fort Wayne is 8-7. They're a half game back. And Chicago is 8-6, still at the top, barely holding on though. Right, the next game of Out of the Park, we're going to move into the 29th of June. We only have 2 games left in June, and then we're done June. So as of right now, OOTP is set for Wednesday night. Wednesday is going to be the. You guys can vote. We can make a poll. Let's make a poll. Let's. In fact, no. Let's not. Let's pick because there's the. This might be the big game here. These two kind of done. We'll do Philly at Fort Wayne because I haven't done the Keck-Youngas. I haven't done the Mutuals in a long time. But this is the bigger game. So we'll do Philadelphia at Fort Wayne on a Wednesday, and then over the weekend we'll try to knock out Troy at the New York Mutuals. That's good because we get Troy and the New York Mutuals. So we'll try to knock that game out on Sunday. And once this game is done, then we're into July and into the official second half of the season. But for now, that's it. If you're watching the recording on YouTube, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.